Actually, to some extent, I agree with Professor Patrick Hardy, his judgment that the alliance order facing some problems, but no caps. The U.S. Center harms and Exposed System in Asia Pacific, with the ROK-US alliance, US-Japan alliance, and the US-Australia alliance, Philippines are still there. The military bases are still there. And the operations of military exercising is still there. I think it's still a major security structure in this region, especially Northeast Asia. But at the same time, there are some real problems with the alliance system centered by the United States. That's related to Trump, the second term. His attitudes and policy towards his allies are quite shocking. He witnesses many problems. He raised the problems of trade and investment terms favorable only to the United States, with MAGA as the guiding principles of the new administrations. He demanded the Greenland, there's controversies, in problems of his NATO members. And, he demanded assistance from his allies with regard to the Iranian crisis without any consultation before he took the military operations. So he demands the increasing defense budgets of every countries. So that's brought about the problems of the alliance credibility and how to deal with the burden sharing issues among the United States and its allies. So now I know there are many talks here, and I learned a lot from the remarks in the open sessions from all leaders. So there's kind of a story to put China, DPRK, and Russia together as against the ROK, Japan, and the United States in the opposition. China always opposed the military alliance system and the blockedization of the region. So yes, President Putin has just state visit to China, and also President Xi also paid a state visit to DPRK this month. But that's we are keeping a normal relationship. China's policy, I think, is quite consistent on that. That's a non-alignment, right? Not targeting on the third party, right? And the non-confrontation. That's the guidelines for China to deal with its relation with Russia, especially. And we are trying to improve our relationship with the DPRK. And I don't think our position on the denuclearization of Korea Peninsula has any change. We just want to establish a practical engagement with DPRK, which has been impeded by the sanctions on the United Nations for quite a few years. So we try to normalize and substantialize the DPRK-China relations. China doesn't change its policy on the Korea Peninsula. There's a denuclearization of Peninsula, Korea Peninsula in the long run, and establish a peace regime on the Korea Peninsula. So I want to make it clear here. So just to think about, yeah, I agree. There's the world now is in a turbulent situation. So major power computations, so regional crises like the Ukraine-Russia war and the Middle East war, and the increasing defense budget everywhere, and also widespreading of populism and nationalism around the world. That are all not good indicators of the trajectories of the future world. But against this background, what China want to do? Very unlike the United States under Trump administration, who initiated, the war of the Iran crisis, and also the severe kidnapping of the president, and also Russia in the Ukraine, Russia. China is advocating what? Right? It's still based with a UN-centered international system and international law-based international order. And we put forward the four, global initiatives, trying to stabilize the turbulent world. China is very unlike Russia, for instance, very unlike the United States, for instance, to deal with the current international governance issues. So look at that. Look at the Northeast Asian situations. Yes, there is a strengthening of China's relationship with DPRK, with Russia, with the summit meeting recently conducted. But on the other side, China, we have a bottom line, we have our principles to deal with this relationship like this. So in the opening sessions, I think Minister Liu has mentioned that we want to see a pragmatic diplomacy, right? We want to see DPRK and RK to reopen their channel of dialogue and to keep the inter-Korean dialogue and communication back to the normal. We want to establish the Asia-Pacific community. President Xi also paid a state visit to RK last year in the April 2025. And the April 2026, where we have summit meeting with Chinese Shenzhen, and welcome, and President Trump also will plan to be there. This year, the summit meeting between President Xi and Trump will be 4 times, including the APEC one. So actually, China and the United States, we said the MAGA and make China great again, make China the rejuvenation of the Chinese nations can, enrich each other, can enforce each other during the opening session of the summit meeting between the 2 presidents. So I think the United States and China, their summit meeting, which laid a basis for a kind of strategic detente, a kind of a constructive relationship of strategic stability, which I think laid a solid basis for bilateral relations in the future. So in that sense, I don't want to take the mindset of the military allies, like Japan, United States on the one side, and China, Russia, and deeper RK on the other side. To make this a kind of calculations or mechanism function, I do think RK would like to say this kind of strengthening of the military alliance in the future. I would like to stop here.